the competition is fierce. Now, on the other side, the wholesaler, the guy that wants to be the wholesaler, or gal that wants to do that, you're going to have to know someone right now because the person is trying to sell a distressed house. They're in distress.
Hey there, thank you for joining us. This is real estate wholesaling versus tax deed investing. And we have Ted Thomas here. Ted, of course, about 30 years in the whole real estate game. He knows tax liens, tax deeds, he knows everything. Ted, we're going to be talking real estate wholesaling. And maybe we start with what is real estate wholesaling? Can you explain that?
Okay, well, I think you're probably going to find a lot more people talk about it and write about it than actually are in the business of wholesaling, because there's not any person that I know that's considered a real estate wholesaler. But let's talk about what's going on. So a lot of people search this term. I mean, thousands and thousands of people search the term. But what people really mean when they talk about wholesaling is, let's picture on one side person A, and then the other side, person B. So person A is a person that wants to sell their property. All right, now, when they want to sell their property, they want to get every dime they want out of it. But the person that's trying to sell a property quickly probably has some kind of distress. Now, it might be distress with the person, or it might be distress with the property. All right, so that was person A. Now, person B is the wholesaler, supposedly. They want to buy the property for less money than it's actually worth retail. And then they want to go out and, with a contract, assign it to someone else. So people visualize wholesaling is they don't need any money to do the job. Well, and that's true. So basically, person B is trying to get person A's property at a great price, and people don't want to do that. And person B now just doesn't want to put up any money, but wants to make a contract to buy it, let's say a $200,000 house for 150 or 170. Well, we'll come back to that in a second. All right, then what they want to do is they want to go sell it for, instead of 150, for 175 or more to another party. All right. Now, both of these positions are difficult. One, if someone's trying to get rid of a house and get rid of it quickly, I wanted you to think about competition. Competition is going to be, how about the National Association of Realtors? There's only 1 million of those across the United States, only 1 million. All right. Then there's fixer-upper people, guys and gals that do that. There's people that flip houses, guys that do that. People that renovate houses, like you see those TV shows. You know, they come in, they knocking down walls with sledgehammers. They're putting new roofs on. They're cutting windows in. They make a little house into a mini mansion. There's all these people are in the market. So if people are going to sell, I mean, why would you want to discount your house 25 or 50,000 when you could just get a real estate company that would sell it for 5 or 6,000? So the competition is fierce. Now, on the other side, the wholesaler, the guy that wants to be the wholesaler, or gal that wants to do that, you're going to have to know someone right now because the person is trying to sell a distressed house. They're in distress. Now, I don't know how you want to talk about distress. Do you want to talk about distress as the property or the people that are losing the house to foreclosure? I mean, so this business of being a wholesaler is nice in title. A lot of people like to search it, but in my 50 years of being around real estate and 30 years of doing tax liens and deeds, I don't know many wholesalers. So it's not the easiest business in the world if you did decide to it. But I think the appeal probably is more to professional writers and people that are dreaming about getting in for no money. That's my opinion.
Well, let me ask you, Ted. I mean, there obviously, because there are people who are doing wholesaling, and people get into things for motives, and usually it's to earn a profit. So,
Right.
Wholesaling, what's the profit potential? Is it better than other types of real estate investing?
Well, in my opinion, and I've talked to numerous people about it, my opinion, the profit is low because the person that's selling doesn't want to give up a lot of margin. In other words, if they had a $200,000 house, they don't want to sell it for 150. They're already in distress. They're probably in distress because they lost their job or their wife is leaving or something like that. They need money. So they don't want to give that house away cheap. And on the second thought, who wants to pay more than they could buy from another real estate person? So it's really a challenge. All right, now I've read a lot of different articles about wholesaling, and the people that do wholesale, they make $5,000 or $10,000 when they do it, now let's hold on a second. $10,000 sounds like a lot of money if you don't have any, but if you had a business and you had a professional secretary or assistant helping you, and you had rent to pay, how long is $5,000 or $10,000 going to last? So I don't think it's that profitable a business.
Well, no doubt. We know where you've been going in real estate. I mean, you're like the authority on tax deeds, on tax liens. So maybe let's talk about tax deed investing. But can you then segue, like, so can you really compare the two for us? I mean, so that we really understand the difference between the real estate wholesaling and why tax deed investing is a little better.
Okay, well, I'm not negative. If someone's out there and they're wholesaling and they're happy with what they're doing, who am I to change that? Keep in mind, some states have laws that you have to be a real estate broker to do that. So if you don't know the law, I would learn that first, and then I would definitely get an attorney and make sure the attorney prepared the documents. So I'm not negative, but you got to have prepared documents. You better make sure you know what you're doing and don't break the law. So I'm not suggesting anybody do that. Okay, I'm in the business of tax defaulted property. I got a lot of smiley faces to work with. If I go to a tax auction, I can tell you, everybody in that room is like, they look like that big smiley face we all see, all these teeth smiling. Why? The tax collector is selling the property. They don't own the property. They own the property. They can sell it for anything they want. Any money the tax collector gets, they're happy when I pay them. So now I pay someone, I'm making them. Now, why are they happy? Because I'm paying a lot of people. I help pay the firemen. I help pay the police department. I help pay the nurses. I help pay the school teachers. I help pay for the schools. I pay for the county employee. All those people are happy. So now I get happy people. I don't distress people. Okay, I'm buying these properties. All right, now the properties I'm buying, okay, I'm happy. Why am I happy? Because they're selling the property. Sometimes they sell it as low as the back taxes. So what if the back taxes are only now 5 or 10%? So now I get that same $200,000 house the guy in distress had, okay, and it has a $200,000 value, and I might buy it for 20 cents on the dollar. Wow, look at all the margin I've got. Am I happy? Man, I'm feeling really good. Look at the money I'm making, okay? So I see it as a business that I'm pretty happy. So I'm doing business with happy people. That's a good thing. But look at the margin. I've got tremendous margin in these, or I don't have to buy it. And here's the best part. The best part is I don't have to go out and look for these properties. The county announces in the newspaper and on their website, and there's 3,000 plus counties in the United States, which means there's 5,000 auctions every year. So now I can get a business that I can do anywhere in the United States, anytime I want to do it in the United States, and I'm doing business with happy people. What the heck's wrong with that?
Nothing. Happy people and profits. That's not a bad thing. Hey, Ted, you mentioned these tax auctions are in the newspapers or online and stuff, and I want to come back to that because it's sort of interesting. How do people find it? But before we do that, I just want to ask you. So obviously, any kind of investing, yeah, there can be risk. So what are the challenges, or what do you have to be careful about when you're doing tax deed investing?
Well, all real estate has risk. What anybody tell you it doesn't? They're all going to have risk. But tax defaulted property, we can show you how to mitigate the risk. But there's definitely a risk. The first risk is that people take is they don't look at the property. They don't have boots on the ground, and so they haven't checked. Has there been a property? Has a roof? Has there been a fire? Has a roof caved in because of some damage from hail or something like that? Or has there been a windstorm? Or is it next to a chicken farm? You wouldn't want to be next to a chicken farm in August. That's going to be pretty soon. So those are some of the. So there's a condition of the property risk, and then there's another risk of what is going on with the title to the property. All right. Now, even when you are working as a wholesaler, do you know if this guy's got a lot of liens on the property? Because you're going to take the guy's property and going to make a piece of paper, and someone else is going to get an assignment. When you take an assignment of a property, you get everything. You get the front door, you get the back door, you get the roof, you get the house, and you get all the liens. You get everything goes with you. So there's a lot of risk there. All right. Same thing with tax property. You could have risk, but you can mitigate the risk. So how do you do that? Well, we teach classes every single day. 5 days a week we have classes, and we have an auction calendar so we can get online and we can go and look, and we can look at all the property records For every property in the United States, we can look at the record and we can tell you, well, first of all, if they have an auction, they wipe out, they extinguish, the tax lien stays in place. I meant to say they extinguish the mortgage or the deed or trust loan. They extinguish those, but municipal liens stay on the property, and not many properties have those, but municipal liens stay on and federal liens stay on. There's not many of those either, but they stay on the property. So yes, there's a ton of risk, but you can look it up and find out what it is so you know what you're doing. It makes a big difference.
So Ted, then tell me, can you kind of do these things together? In other words, can I like buy tax deeds and then wholesale the tax deeds?
Well, sure. You could buy a tax deed, and matter of fact, that's the business that I'm in. I buy the tax deed, and I try to buy it as close to the back tax as possible. Now, I can't always do that because when you go to an auction, it's just that it's an auction. So some people come in and they want that property. If it's next door to them, they'll bid up any price at all to get the property next door to them. So you're not going to beat those people. But if they bid it up too high, then I don't want it, because what I do is when I go and look at the property, I determine what I'm going to sell it for. And I like to buy low and I like to sell low. So let me give you an example. There's a house that's worth $100,000. So I want to buy it low, let's say 20 cents on the dollar, and then I want to sell it for 50 cents on the dollar so I can sell it quickly. So let's keep in mind, the properties I'm buying at tax auction are not just built and painted and shiny and, sparkling clean. They're used and abused. Some of them are junk. I don't buy any junk, but there are many properties like a little paint and touch up, clean up, I can sell. So I can buy at the tax auction and then sell it low, and you could call me a wholesaler at that point if you wanted to.
So Ted, whether I'm doing wholesaling or tax deed investing, both take work. Does one take more work than the other?
I can't talk about the wholesalers because I don't consider myself one, but the tax lien business is not easy. No business is easy. No, there is no business. It's easy. It's not easy, but it is simple. And it's as simple as this. There's going to be 5,000 auctions, buy it at the right price, and then sell it at the right price. So I say to people, if you can buy a property for 20 or 30 cents on the dollar, sell it for 50 or 60 cents on the dollar using a lot of different media and doing that with your computer, would you like to be in that business? Because that's going to leave you a lot of room. So you buy it at 20 cents on the dollar, sell it at 50 cents on the dollar. You made a nice margin, and then let someone else make some money too. And I guess you could call me a wholesaler doing that. But I don't know enough about that other wholesale business. But I don't want to sit across the kitchen table from someone trying to bargain a house property down. Nobody wants to give away their house, I'm telling you. If they're in distress or the property's in distress, that's a tough time to work with anybody. If they get distressed because of family or mental health problems or losing a job problem, that's not a good time for me to be negotiating with them. I love going to tax sale. I love to see the tax collector or the ex officio sheriff up there doing the auctioning. I'm a buyer. Every time I put money in there, I'm taking care of people. I like that business.
You guys have a calendar that helps people discover where the auctions are, and I think you have a special offer for everybody who's watching this right now. What is that offer, Ted?
Yeah, we always do that to our new clients. Anybody who's new to us, they can come to us and they can learn that they can go, and it's going to be below. It'll be right below me, folks, later. You can go to our auction calendar and you'll see some circles on there. When you see the circles on there, those are the auctions that are active, but every state has auction. You can just move your mouse from state to state that's having an auction. It'll tell you how many auctions that state's going to have in the different counties and how many properties are available.
You got to take Ted up on this, everybody. Check it out and just see all the auctions that are out there. I mean, you'll be amazed by it. I know I was when I checked out the calendar one time. So, hey, Ted, thank you so much for sharing with us. And folks, if there's any questions we didn't answer, just leave it in the comment column below. Ted and his folks, they check it out every once in a while, and we do these videos once in a while, so you may get your answer sooner than later. Thanks a lot for watching.
Don't forget, request your free auction list right below me.